Cassie. It's great to see you today. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Basically, where are you from?
I am originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I've been in Florida for 7 years.
Okay. All right. What's your background? What did you do prior to becoming a trainer?
So I have been a nurse for 4.5 years. I really what got me into the whole training aspect was seeing a lot of patients there that had issues that could have been prevented had they actually taken health and fitness and nutrition into account before they ended up in a hospital bed. So that's really what kind of pushed me in this direction. And I've really enjoyed it so far.
That's awesome. So, when you first got certified as a trainer, I obviously it was probably a little bit easier for you to pass since you were already a nurse, right? And a lot of the questions are, medically related. So,
Mhm.
when you first got certified, what was your first thought? Like you get the piece of paper, you did pass on, you passed on your first try.
Mhm.
Okay. So, and
Mhm.
you get the results and you're so excited, right? And then what were the first thoughts that went through your mind when you first passed?
Um, really relief that I passed for one. And even though, as you said, some things do pertain to nursing, it had already been a few years since I had been in nursing school, and you're still having to take a test. So it's like the nerves were still kind of there. Um, I did have to still study and prepare for the test despite being a nurse. I mean, you still wanted to make sure that you were prepared. But once I passed, I really just felt relieved and okay, I got to get started. This is going to be fun. I got to get this going. And I did it. And you're just proud of yourself for actually taking the next step and making that accomplishment.
Right. So you got certified. What month was it?
It was November last year.
Okay, November. And so you saw my offer, right, in February. So
Yeah.
between getting certified in November and seeing my coaching offer to help get started, how much have had you accomplished between November and February?
None.
None. Okay.
None.
Okay. Is there a particular reason why you didn't get started right away when you first got certified?
I think a lot of it had to do with not really knowing where to begin.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really know the first steps. You don't know what needs to be done legally, what the best way is to advertise, what any of the best ways to go about anything are, because I didn't have that guidance until I saw your offer a few months later. So really, I was just, yay, I passed, and then just stuck and had no idea what to do.
I think that's pretty common.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty common. So when you first saw my offer for coaching, what was it about my program that made you want to invest in it?
I love the energy that you put toward one promoting your program. I could tell that you had already had a successful business established. I had taken a look at the things that you have done, the workouts that you do for your community. And I just really liked the way that you went about all of that and just felt like you would give a really personal coaching experience to everybody that took your class or, you know.
That's awesome. And then what really stood out because you saw I did a presentation. I did basically a live webinar at that time showing my business model and what I came up with, and then all the different aspects of it. What part of it does anything stand out? And I know it's been a while now, but does anything stand out as oh my gosh, I want to know how to do that, that part of the program. Like that's going to solve it for me.
Yeah, I actually do remember your presentation, and I liked that you didn't push people to have to achieve something they may not have wanted. In your presentation, you laid out, if you want to make this much money, you can take these steps. If you want to make this much, this is what you'll have to add in and charge this much and take these steps to make this money. But you're not obligated to do that. If you only want to work part time, this is what you're going to have to do. If you want to make this, you're going to have to put in X amount of hours and time and all of that. And it really just made it feel like, okay, this is fit for everybody. I'm not yet prepared to work on this 7 days a week, but this is the perfect fit for me to not have to do that because I'm not ready for that.
Okay.
Where most programs will probably push you and push you and push you to make it your entire life.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome. That I love your answer to that because you're right. You could either do this part-time or full-time. You could have a full-time job and start this and then wait for the income to outperform your full-time job and then give that up if you wanted to. So I love that answer. Okay, so what have you learned so far from the program that you feel would have taken you longer if you had to learn it on your own without any help?
A lot of parts of the program. So for one, as I mentioned before, the legal aspect, I feel like it would have taken me a lot of research and contacting a lot of people to know how much insurance I needed, finding a good price, finding a good company, what I truly needed, and not just here's some money, I'm insured, and I don't even know if that's going to cover me if something happens. Another big thing was the website. While I am good with technology and I have had websites before, it has been a very long time since I have messed with any website related things, like a couple of years. So I basically was starting over with that. And you really gave a very thorough yet simple walkthrough of building a website and made me get it done actually rather quickly. I didn't spend weeks on it or anything like that. It was very quick.
I have to say, I'm going to interrupt for a second.
Go ahead.
You took the program. It was a 8-hour hands-on program at the time. And that you went home right after that training, and within 7 days you had your entire business set up. Yes. You had your LLC, your insurance, your flyers, your name, your logo, your website. You were literally, you got it all done. I have to say, I think you were the fastest one to implement everything you learned in that training.
Yes, I was ready to go when I left. I wanted to get it started right away and not waste any time for sure. And also, I wanted to do it while it was fresh in my mind as well. I took a lot of good notes during the course, and so once I got home, I just basically started from the top and went down everything you said and got on every website I had to do, got my domain bought, the LLC bought, everything. Everything that I had on my list, I pretty much just did and marked off right away.
I love it. Totally impressive. And now that you're actually launched, you actually did launch your business. Can you see how the business model of doing that one free workout and growing a community, can you now see how that is going to work? Like how that's going to continuously bring you clients without having to be in the social media rat race like everybody else?
Yeah, definitely, because people want free. And people want free until they know, like, and trust you. They're not willing to give you money until they know you, they actually like you, and they really trust you, because there's just so many people nowadays messaging people, calling people, just asking people for money for whatever it may be. And people get very frustrated with it. They get very annoyed by it, and it's just a big turnoff. So the fact that you're truly offering something for free 1 day a week, and that's never going to change, you're always going to have that free option. People are going to stick with you at least on that day. If they don't have the means to actually pay for a workout or the time commitment, or they just need more time to know that they can trust you enough to actually pay you to come to your workout, they know that they can count on your one free workout to actually go and be a part of the community.
Yeah, that's huge. I love what you just said about they need to trust you first before they're going to give you money. And like you said, these days everybody's just messaging everybody randomly, and they don't even know the people. They don't have a relationship developed. So you're right. That's huge. How many to get to where you are now with everything that you've set up? How many months or years do you think it would have taken you to learn everything you've learned so far if you had to do it all on your own without any help?
I'm going to say probably at least a year, because if you take into account the fact that I got certified last November and hadn't even touched it for almost 3 months until I saw your course, it could have taken me, for all I know, a year before I even decided to get started into doing my research to find out where to start. So I'm going to say probably at least a year, and that's if I would have actually taken the initiative to start learning and get things going around the time that I saw your course if I hadn't taken it.
All right, that's great. And then if you had to put a dollar value on what you've learned so far, what would you say this program is actually worth?
Priceless. You can't even put a dollar amount on it. I honestly, with the money that I feel like I would have spent just paying individual people, I mean, to set up the legal things, or could have overpaid in insurance, not knowing what I needed, having someone develop a website that's easily $500, easily.
Mm-hmm.
What having support, I mean, that the ongoing support, even with our course being months ago, and you're still here to support everybody that was taking your course. That doesn't happen. Most people only get support during the actual learning period, and then it drops off unless they want to pay more money or something of that nature. So people don't get that support that they really need, especially when they're feeling discouraged, or somebody doesn't show up to the workout that they thought that they were going to, or maybe nobody showed up, but it's completely normal, and you said you went through the exact same thing in the beginning, so you just have to know that it's going to get better. So even just that support and reassurance that everything is going to get better, you're just in the beginning and it's all up from here, is worth so much money. So your course is definitely worth what you're asking.
That's awesome. Great. How do you feel this program has helped increase your confidence level? Because what I hear all the time from brand new trainers is, I don't feel confident. I'm afraid to fail. I don't know if I'm in shape enough. I don't know if I know enough. Like, how am I going to be a good trainer? So how do you feel the program has helped raise your confidence level as a trainer?
I would say it has a lot to do with your support, for one. I have gone to you and said, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if anybody's going to show up. I don't know if my technology is going to fail. All of those things happen, and you just really reassure that if that does happen, it's okay. People understand how technology works. People understand that you might have an off day, and you, as the instructor, might even have to do some modifications throughout your workout. You might not have a ton of people show up because people had things come up in their personal life and they got busy or something of that sort. Like, you have really reassured that all of those things are normal and it's okay, and you've got this, you can do it. And then all of a sudden you get out there, you do your first training, and then you're like, wow, that went way better than I thought. That was good. That will just keep getting better. And then you go to your next one and you're like, okay, I'm not even nervous anymore.
Right?
The only thing, and you have suggested this to me too, just make sure you've ran through the workout at home before you go train, whether it's the night before or whatnot, just so you kind of have a mental picture of the routine that you're supposed to follow.
Yeah, that's a good tip. That's definitely a good tip. And we give everybody a complete checklist on how to set up their event and make sure they're not forgetting anything and get everybody fully prepared to do that first event, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Cassie, one of the biggest things I hear all the time is fear of failure. People are truly afraid. They get very excited, when they first get certified and they have that piece of paper, but then it's like, now what? And then this fear of failure just comes over them and they are not sure they can really pull it off. And what if they fail? So how has this program helped you? And maybe you didn't have that same feeling, but how would this help somebody get over that fear of failure?
I would say that it is the model that you have shown, because a lot of businesses, when you're starting out, you have to have a lot of money that you don't need for your personal life. You have to have a ton of money set aside to start your business for building costs, leasing a space or purchasing a space, buying a franchise, buying gym equipment, hiring employees that you need, all sorts of things. So you would have to have so much money. And the great thing that this model provides is it ensures you that you don't have any of that. The most expense that you would have is maybe paying a small fee at the location that you do your workouts at if it's outdoors. So your personal expense is literally buying your own weights, your speaker and headset, and that's, really it. Everybody brings their own weights and mat and everything that they need. So you're not having to supply all of these extra items to make your costs higher.
Mm-hmm.
You are literally only responsible for yourself. And so what's the worst case? You have some equipment that you can take home and exercise with on your own. I mean, there's really no risk with especially the money aspect, because you've worked out and you have equipment to work out at home still. So I mean, really it's a win-win. I mean, if you were to fail, which is very unlikely with this model, you would just have your own personal equipment for at home.
Would you recommend this program to a brand new trainer just certified, or even someone who's been certified for a while now and hasn't really gotten started, and maybe even a struggling trainer, and why?
I would definitely recommend this to any sort of trainer, new, old, experienced, whatever, personal trainer or group fitness instructor, either one. The reason is a lot of people, when they get certified, I think might have the intention of starting their own business. Like, oh, I'm going to get certified. I'm going to start my own personal training business. And then all of a sudden that fear of failure washes over them and they say, okay, maybe I can't do this. I'm going to go work at my local gym and just train there. So then you're giving money to the gym instead of setting your own prices, instead of setting your own hours, instead of making your own workouts. You're probably having to follow everything that they say, and nothing is actually up to you. So this course would show you how to make this your own and how to make that leap from being under the control of somebody else to being your own boss and really making everything your own and you being in charge, charging what you want, teaching how you want, when you want, and where you want. And then as far as struggling trainers, if you already have your own business, maybe you have a missing piece somewhere in the line, and this will just show you what that piece might be. It could even be that you have never thought about offering anything free. And that's a really big aspect that you need to have because, like I said, people have to be able to trust you, and they're not going to trust you if you say, let me train you for $70 an hour.
Right.
So they need to know that you're willing to help them so they can help you financially as well.
Right.
um, so, and then a brand new trainer obviously was like I was a little bit of time ago, just having absolutely no idea where to start and totally against working in a gym, not even on my radar, not even ever thought about, but just have no idea where to start. This lets you start fresh from the beginning and gives you every step by step that you need to take to make sure that you end up in the right place and have a successful business.
Perfect. Love it. Thank you so much, Cassie, for sharing today. And then, if I can ask you one more thing, what is your
Yeah.
ultimate goal for your fitness business? Where would you like to be? Say, I'm just going to throw 5 years from now. What would you like to see happen in your business?
I would like to make this my full-time job, not working full-time, if that makes sense. I would like this to be my full income, but not have to put in 40 hours a week toward it. I'd like to be able to spend more time with my family, and I feel like that this model and the flexibility and the scheduling that I can make will really help with that goal. You're not going to be working out for 8 hours a day like you will at a job. So you definitely have more options in scheduling and a variety of ways to make your money. So that is my goal eventually, to just really make this my source of income and enjoy my time other than working out outside of it.
Well, I that's definitely going to happen, and that's going to happen in less than 5 years. I'm
Yes.
sure of it, especially since we teach how to incorporate logo gear, nutrition, training, virtual training. There's so many options, and it's all built into this program. So once those are all fully integrated into your
Mhm.
brand, the sky's the limit. So super excited for you. And I appreciate you sharing with everybody today. And I look forward to seeing where you go with this.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks.